Next, we have former Cavs GM David Griffin, right? He's been doing the rounds, and he was on SiriusXM, and he echoed some sentiments that you said yesterday about the Spurs. Let's listen.
San Antonio is not into media frenzy until they have a conversation with Kawhi Leonard and he looks Coach Popovich and R.C. Buford in the eye and says, guys, I want out. None of this means anything. Those dudes have been phenomenal at not forcing anything until it was absolutely time in their own minds. And so if something happens relative to the draft, it's going to be because they heard something directly from him and not the things that we've heard.
My takeaway from this is it possible that the Spurs have not spoken to Kawhi Leonard? And how? How has Gregg Popovich not texted, gotten the phone? How have the Spurs not communicated with Kawhi Leonard directly?
It would seem that it's impossible that they haven't communicated, because normally you talk to your employer when they call you.
Yeah.
But in these cases, a lot of times there is a middle ground, your manager or your agent.
This is big boy business. This isn't time. This isn't like, hey, we're negotiating a contract. This is big deal stuff.
But when you start to behave different, that also becomes a part of your character, that you're sending a message to the people because they see it. So if his agent was somebody, or his manager was the person that always talked to the team and he always talked to Pop, now he just fall back and don't do either one. That's kind of how a scenario like that could go. But I would be shocked if in over the last handful of months he and Pop hasn't had a conversation at all.
I would be shocked if over the last handful of days they haven't had a conversation, Jalen. Like, I don't understand why these two human beings cannot speak. And we showed you on this program that Popovich flew to New York. Tim Duncan flew to New York. Kawhi Leonard was in New York. You trying to tell me that they didn't sit down together and break bread, that Popovich was just there to shop at the Strand bookstore?
We hope so. But more importantly, David Griffin echoed, as you acknowledged, and I appreciate it, exactly what I said. There's no panic.
Yeah.
That's what the Cavs did with Kyrie Irving, with 2 years
Panic.
remaining on this deal.
And another thing is they're not in a rush to trade Kawhi Leonard before
LeBron James decides where he's going.
Exactly. Why would we trade Kawhi Leonard and give a potential for Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James to wear the same uniform and play on the same basketball team? If you're the Spurs, you are not motivated to do that. So I'll wait until LeBron lands, and then I will not take calls from that phone. That's all. I mean, that's how I would play it, and I think that's how you say they're going to play it too. When do you expect a potential Kawhi deal to happen? Before the season starts, or more of a trade deadline?
I think we get closer to the season. He shows up at training camp. He starts to play with the Spurs, gets back to being an elite level performer, and then we revisit all of these conversations again.